Hello, everyone.
Hello.
This is
Thinking
Out
Out
Loud. So today, we don't need introduction anymore because we are now like family, okay?
Exactly.
And we have come with this hot topic. What are we talking about?
Uninvited guests.
Unannounced guests. Wait, is it disrespectful?
Or is it acceptable in your culture?
As Africans, what do you think? What do you think? Why are you laughing?
I mean, as in back home, I think it's normal because the doors are always open to everybody coming in to take a cup of water, chit chat. Your kids have friends. Your spouse has maybe meeting members. Or your wife has this group of women coming to do one or two things. There's always somebody I was passing by you, and I said to just stop and say hi. You, how are your children? Do you have this? Or people come to borrow one or two things or the other. Uninvited guests.
My dear, this unannounced guests we're talking about depends on the place and time and where we're talking about.
Exactly.
Because if it's in Africa or African communities, even if it's here in abroad or anywhere, we don't see it as rude.
Yeah.
We don't see it as anything. We see it as something normal.
Yes.
That you're supposed to pass. Even some people will get mad at you that you came to my neighborhood
And you didn't stop.
and you didn't stop by to come and say hi to your sister.
See,
You didn't come and knock on my door. Like, people pick offense and take offense to that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So in Africa, it is kind of
Like a norm.
like in America or abroad, it has become a place between
You're crossing your personal
between
space.
the rock and the whatever. How do they say that? Because many people has kind of Americanized.
Yeah.
Many people has civilized to the extent that they really enjoy their privacy.
Yes.
People have busy schedules and they don't expect you to just wake up one day and come and start bang on their door that you're here
That you're passing
unannounced. Maybe at this point, me and my family, we are still managing one room.
Exactly.
And you're coming to knock on my door. I don't have a space for a visitor. And in America, it's not a place a visitor can easily just sleep on the living room because the weather changes and then you're going to be freezing there. And some people are used to turning off the heat in the room while the heat is on in the room. So now you're going to feel like, oh, it's so cold in here. Why am I getting all these blankets to sleep with? Meanwhile, they could have just on the heat because they're trying to save costs.
Exactly.
So you're kind of an inconvenience at this time.
Aside from that, people have shift changes in America. Your money is not my money. Understand? Your money might be my nighttime. So you can't just come and knock and say, I'm stopping by. I was passing through your area. No, or maybe at that time I'm sleepy or I'm tired or I'm having a mental stress at that time. I don't feel like talking because people's home is their safe zone. Like, this is where I can unleash all the whole stress that I've been through all day. So I just need my quiet time, and people value that in America. And your home is your safe zone. So you just can't share that space with uninvited guests. Well, but as Africans, we still have to, be open to
Our culture. There is a saying in my language, okay? In my language, they say, Ulo bolom ulumagi, meaning my house is open to you.
That's right.
And it's just like it's saying that almost in every Igbo house, my house is open to you, meaning that you are accepted.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? But the thing is that we have boundaries as human beings.
Yeah.
There are times you don't want anybody in your space, and this person is coming through.
Yeah.
And then another thing is, if it's in America, an American will ask, is it an emergency?
Is there something? Is
something wrong?
Because they expect you to have called them or text them.
Yeah.
To say, okay, are you home?
I think it calls, like, is either somebody's life is in danger, or that you're being pursued by something, or there's an emergency, like something has to happen for you to do this.
You can actually give them anxiety by just seeing them at the front door. Like,
Yeah,
who is at my
that's
front door?
true.
I'm not expecting anybody.
And then for some people, like if you're just my acquaintance at my work, all of a sudden I see you in front of my door, unannounced.
Like, how did you get my address? Or,
My dear, how is our relationship that deep? Okay, are you tracing me? And you know, a lot of things happen here, strange things that if you see somebody like that, you'll be like, is it because we had an issue at work you're following me? You know, you understand what I mean? So you can actually call police. You can actually get the law involved. So many things can happen out of it. So
sometimes it could be someone you're familiar with, might be an ex.
And then listen, you know when they say no trespassing in here, that somebody trespassed.
Yeah,
that's part of the problem. You know, it's really, really a big deal.
Yeah,
because you can't just show up in somebody's house unannounced. I don't know who you are at this point, you know. But let's bring it down.
Exactly.
Because we are Africans. In Africa, it is very, very okay? And they expect it to be normalcy because in Africa, hospitality is the norm of the day.
Okay.
Even when you show up unannounced, they will cook meals for you. They will bring drinks. Everybody is happy to welcome you because they see it as, you know, it's a communal thing and it's supposed to be a happy occasion that even you.
And if you don't have people come to your house, there's something wrong with you.
I know. And people map you out.
But it's changing now in in the cities, in Lagos, Abuja, or high-rise places whereby people have gates and security guards. So now before you come in, you have to talk to the security guard. It's changing now in our culture.
Right.
So it's only those who have open houses that you can just walk in. Now you have to go through the security. You know, so it's the Western culture is beginning to come to our culture slowly, whereby
but surely.
But we're still open to read, but we still expect. I think it's respectful to just notify somebody when you come to the person's house.
I think it's a good thing. It's a good practice that even if you have to go to this person's house, like let's say I'm in your neighborhood and I know your house is right here. I'm going to Choma's house on the other end. It's a good practice that if you must stop by, please shoot this person a text.
Yeah.
Oh, Yole, I'm in your neighborhood though, and I wanted to just say hi. I don't know if it's convenient for you, but I'm right close to your door. I'm coming. Let the person tell you, oh, I'm at work or I'm not here yet. And you know, you don't have to be offended that this person is not home because really.
What about in situations whereby your in-law?
Okay.
That's another whole issue.
Now, when it comes to in-laws, I don't know how to put it because it's a very delicate situation and Yole is trying to put me in a dish hole. Okay, let's answer this question. If it's your in-laws, number one, it might affect your relationship. Sometimes we have to bite the hard pill. Even though it's not convenient for you, you have to at least open your door.
Yeah.
Let the person come in. Drink water, at least.
Yeah.
Okay? Before you get to the merriment.
Yeah, so you make polite.
You have to be polite about it and be like, for me, if you show up, what I'll do is, if I'm going to work, you're not going to stop my schedule. I have to still go to work. So you have to work with my schedule at this time.
Exactly.
You understand? If the house is not convenient, I don't have 1 million rooms for you to sleep in. You have to learn to manage with me.
Yeah.
Because that's where you met me. And you didn't prepare me ahead of time for me to maybe cannot get you a space, a hotel, or somewhere close by the house, or a friend, get you a place to be comfortable, or Airbnb.
Exactly.
So when it's like that, the still African we are kicks in. You still have to accommodate. Because now, if you go and act out of anger, it's going to affect your relationship because now your husband, let us say, is the mother or is the sister that trained him.
Exactly.
He's going to remember and be like, how dare you be disrespectful to my sister? Even, I'm sure by now I told you what she means to me.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think in that situation, as a woman, you have to hold yourself back.
You're polite, and then you also respectfully tell your spouse, like, okay, please notify them in the case of next time. I would expect to get
them to call
to
or
notify,
text, because
yeah.
finance is hard.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
And it's
you're
not
gonna
easy
need to
keep-
feed this person.
Exactly.
You have to add this person to the budget of the house. And you know, when you go to Costco these days, we know how much we spend every week.
Exactly.
In
so,
Costco.
and the way you behave when you're by yourself at home is different from when you have a guest.
A guest, because you have to make sure you
everybody
make
changes.
breakfast every morning.
Everybody changes. So
Maybe
it's-
you're somebody that usually wake up and just do your black coffee and start running. Now it's not like that, because the guests will be like, I came, I was so hungry, they didn't even treat me right, and honey, a lot of things gotta change.
But also, I've also heard of situations whereby people don't have people coming to their home. They don't have guests, and they are in a situation, and nobody's able to help them. So it can have its good side, and it also has its own negative
I know.
side, because I've heard of people who have passed away or maybe collapsed, and just somebody stopping by to say hi was able to save them, or maybe a family member. Like, I've been calling this person, the person's not picking up their call. I've had so many cases like in the hospital, and they just had to go to the house and call maybe the rental agency
Office
or
and
something, like, I
find
need
out.
to get to see if this person is okay, and they get to save the person, you know. So, but regardless of how it is, an uninvited guest is something that people are not prepared for. It gives them anxiety. It makes them worry. It gets into their personal space. It's kind of destabilizes you at that moment. But just, you know, how we approach it is what matters.
I mean, there is work, there is stress,
Yes.
there is routines,
Finance, yeah.
there is finance, there is so many things that is tied to
Yeah.
unannounced guests.
Yes.
So my whole thing is that now it's kind of a culture clash, but I think it's always okay to respect
Yeah.
people's boundaries
Yes.
and meet them
Whether
where they are.
you're back home or
You are here.
Yeah, you have to
So
respect people's
I think
space,
I
yeah.
think it's a good place for us to anchor it.
Yes.
This is us.
But I'm still going to come to your house and ask.
This is us thinking out loud.
All right,
Okay?
see you next time.
See you next time. Make sure you like, make sure you comment and share, okay?
All right.
Thinking out loud.